Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves. You and I are told increasingly we have to choose between a left or right. Well, I'd like to suggest there is no such thing as a left or right. There's only an up or down.
It has been long overdue to expose the truth that the Democrats and Republicans are sucking the life out of America's liberty and usurping our rights at every turn. Now is the time to seize our civil liberties and take back our individual rights. Here on Southern Liberty, we will expose it all. With his musket on his back, the Declaration of Independence in one hand, and the Constitution in the other, here's your host, Roderick Threets.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the first day of your work week. Hopefully it was great, it was good, it was blessed, it was all that fun stuff. I hope you enjoyed your weekend. That's ultimate. I wanted you to enjoy your weekend. Because, you know, it's starting to get a little bit warmer. Especially if you're east and south, it's getting a little bit warm. You know, we're talking deep south. We're not talking about like Virginia or Tennessee south. You know what I mean? It's still cool. You know, through the Carolinas and the good old volunteer, right? And the Commonwealth of Virginia, West Virginia is still cool, but you know we get getting better weather. I would like to say, look, Don Lemon and Tucker out on the same day. As my Jamaican friend from Canada always says, "What the fuck is this?" That's how I'm like, "What are we? Is this what we doing today? Now, what the fuck is this?" Right? Like they both out on the same day. Like, come on, man.
Okay. But I have to say this. Don Lemon should have been done years ago. I'm sorry. You don't let that continue to play out into your morning shows and completely contaminate that.
Right, but I don't even want to focus on Don Lemon. I want to focus on the Tucker thing.
Yeah.
Right, because I got some thoughts on that.
Sure.
Right, because here's the thing, right? We have to admit that Fox made Tucker. We have to admit that outright, right? We have to admit that outright.
To a certain extent, yes.
Right,
to a certain extent,
yes. Because I mean, really, outside of the Daily Caller, Tucker is a nobody, right? He was a nobody until he got on Fox, right?
Yeah, it certainly skyrocketed him.
Yeah.
There were those of us in the industry who knew about him because he had started out with the Heritage Foundation, the Heritage Organization. And we had known about his work for quite a while because he's been in the industry for 30 damn years. Right.
Now, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing with that, right? Mm-hmm. And this is pure speculation, right? Mm-hmm. Tucker Carlson was the fall guy.
I think so, yes. Yeah.
Right. He was the fall guy, right? Because what the establishment wants, the establishment gets. Mm-hmm. Right. I sat all day and I saw the whole complete left. Oh my God, look. Oh my God, look. Tucker got fired. Blah, rah, 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 rah.
Yeah.
Right? And
I haven't even watched the left. I've been watching the right.
Yeah. So I'm sitting here like, oh, but you're worried about Tucker going. So really, let's keep it. Whose dick was actually bigger in the media space, Don Lemon's or Tucker's?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Now, here's the other part, right? I didn't hear the left even mention Don Lemon about any of this, right? Here's the funny part about this whole thing. The group of people, the party of people, right? That is the quick to scream the crayon box fallacy of white supremacy. Didn't say a word about the whole. I'm talking the whole ass white ass board of directors at CNN saying, "Don't let boom, let's go." Right?
Yeah.
Fuck your intersectionality. Right? Like I said, right? Fuck the intersectionality. Right? To preserve that, you'd rather go after the other team, while low key, right? Low key, right? According to these people, right? This is their language, y'all. Remember, I like using their language against them. Right? Mm-hmm. They are literally bigoted. Right? They're racist. CNN should be racist at this point. Right?
According to them, yes.
Right? And CNN should also be homophobic. Mm-hmm. Right? I'm just saying. Right? This is their language, but they're too busy focused on the white supremacy of Tucker Carlson. And look, he's going to say, oh, so y'all's riding his dick too, huh? Okay. Y'all didn't care about Don Lemon. He was just there to peddle a message to keep you distracted until the other team did something. Now that the other team decided to do something over a $787 million lawsuit, which should have never happened in the first place. Right? But I'm going to get to that in a minute. I mean, I'm gonna get to the minute why that came to fruition, right? Mm-hmm. Now, it's all a mere distraction. Now, the Dominion lawsuit, right? The Dominion lawsuit. Look, they set the precedent, right? Watch this, Nicholas Sandmann, right? Kyle Rittenhouse. Right?
Yep.
See, this is what happens, right? Listen, Citizens United, right?
Yes.
They're in this way made this possible, made corporations people, right? They could sue, right? As such, defamation, right? All that, right? And when people can throw because you remember in a civil case, you don't need beyond a reasonable doubt. You just need to cast a touch of doubt. Mm-hmm. Right? And be convincing and get paid. Yeah. Dominion was broke.
Oh, yeah.
They needed to come up somehow. Fox News was that come cash. Up. Right? Fox News was that come up in cahoots. And I'm going to say this out loud. In cahoots with Fox. Mm-hmm. Right? In exchange for Tucker Carlson. It was a ransom deal, right? It was one of those mob deals. You know what? Because they didn't even litigate this case. They was like, okay, we're just going to settle. We're done.
It just settled. Now, my question would be, why wouldn't they ask for all three heads? In other words, Tucker, Sean Hannity, and Laura Ingraham. Why wouldn't they ask for that? That's a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah, that's right.
Because all three were named in the lawsuit. Yeah. There were no depositions given.
Nope. Zero.
Nobody
That's my
was
point.
Subpoenaed to testify.
That's my point. Nailed it.
So, I think that Tucker was the sacrificial lamb on this.
Yep.
Do I think that he's going to be hurting after this? Absolutely not.
Nope.
They're going to have to pay his contract one way or the other.
Yep.
And I can guarantee you Tucker Carlson will land on his feet.
Oh,
he
look.
Always does.
Look, Tucker, see, here's the thing, right? Because if we go back and think about Tucker, right? Mm-hmm. Bill O'Reilly made him, right? I remember when he used to fuck around with Bill O'Reilly back in those days.
To a certain extent, yes.
Right? Now, with that part being said, right? And the way he set up Daily Caller, right? Mm-hmm. And you know, and the people he's got surrounded himself, right, over at Daily Caller, right? I'm telling you, Tucker Carlson is literally in the seat to fill the vacuum that Fox just jumped out of. Yeah, he is in the right position to do that because he could take Daily Signal, right, and make it its own. He would probably be 3 times better than Newsmax or OANN. I'm telling you.
Oh God, yes.
Right, and that's what the establishment is not counting on. I'm telling you that right now. The establishment is not counting on that to happen. They don't think Tucker's going to jump back into the quote unquote conservative space. But I'm telling you, soon as Fox figures out how they're going to pay out the rest of his contract, I bet you he's already behind the scenes, already making moves, right, to bring Daily Signal online as its own media outlet.
I'm not going to take any bets on that because he's had offers from Daily Wire and from The Blaze as well. So it's one of those things where he is in the right place at the right time.
He'll go independent, though.
I believe so. I believe so as well. He doesn't want to be dependent upon another network that can cut his head.
Right. Yeah, because now he's in high demand. I understand that. He's in high demand now.
My God, yes.
Right. So
you look at it. The top, not only the top earning, but the top broadcaster, I would say. Across the board.
Yeah.
We're talking in standard broadcasting and cable. The number one host. And Fox News just released him?
Yeah. There's more to it. Right.
There's a lot more to this. And they keep talking about this lawsuit about, oh, well, he said a bunch of dirty words in front of me. Grow up.
Right.
You can sue all you want over that, and what you're going to get is absolutely nothing.
Yeah, you can't get blood from a turnip.
Right? Well, it's not just that, but it's one of those things where, okay, so somebody cussed in front of you, and?
Yeah, and? Didn't your parents cuss in front of you? Okay, that's cool.
Honey, I grew up on construction jobs. He ain't saying nothing I ain't ever heard.
Right.
And if you're that delicate, you don't need to be in the news industry. By God, you don't need to be in the news industry.
No, not a little. And here's the other part, too, right? Donald Trump potentially has another vice president candidate.
Potentially, but I'm not so sure of that.
Because here's the thing, right? And again, right? Trump's not stupid, right?
No, he's not.
He's not stupid.
No, he's not.
That right there, if he said tomorrow, Tucker Carlson is my VP, I'll tell you right now, even an RFK ticket couldn't beat that. I'm just by sheer numbers. Just by sheer voting numbers.
I agree, but I can't see him becoming that kind of political animal.
I could. He's been it. Theoretically, he's
to a certain extent.
Through COVID, it was all political for him. He was. But
it was political for all of us during COVID. Are you kidding?
That's true. But I'm saying he inserted himself into that space and started jabbing away. You know what I mean? So it's like I say, it's a possibility. But I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't take a Tucker Carlson VP off the table though.
I'm not taking it off the table. I'm just saying I see that as a far outside chance. That would be a long shot bet on my part. Now, Rico in the chat had mentioned Dan Bongino. The reason Dan is not back on Fox is because their contract negotiations failed.
Yep.
Evidently, Fox was not willing to pay him what he was worth. So, pretty much what it is.
Yep.
It happens.
Yep, and and crazy enough, a lot of those guys have left Fox, right? Like my friend Jason Chaffetz. Right.
Jason Chaffetz.
Yep. Trey Gowdy is very seldom on there now. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's hit or miss with him. You know what I'm saying? So Fox has been making some subtle changes in the background that people haven't really noticed.
Yeah.
Right. And it's still, again, right. We've talked about Fox here in the past, right? Even in our beginning days, right? Like, Fox, like CNN, is controlled opposition.
Yeah.
Right? By the elites, the big fellas that want the establishment fellas, right?
The thing is I look at this as the Murdochs selling out to mainstream media. Because that's what they've become at this point.
Right. And here's the other thing too, right? The January 6th bit and the election bit is a hot potato. No one wants to have that hot potato in their lap.
But
because
you know what?
But here's the thing.
It has to happen.
Right, exactly. And that's the thing, right? It's like video does not lie.
No.
Unless it's been really, really, really manipulated.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, video doesn't lie, but Ray Epps sure did with that CBS interview on 60 Minutes, didn't he?
But see, here's what else is interesting. Right? Tucker Carlson, right, has the exclusive rights to the January 6th videos. It's not through Fox. He has the rights to those videos.
He has the rights to that, yes. Yep.
So again, right now, let's back up. Let's back up the strategy a little bit, right? What if Fox didn't want to be attached to what he's about to expose with the January 6 videos?
That's what I was just thinking.
Right? The payoff with Dominion, right? No depositions was a distraction.
Yeah.
Right? Carlson was a scapegoat in this, right? Air quotes. He was a scapegoat. And Tucker Carlson's going to be like, well, since I'm not connected to certain media and my contract says I can't do this, well, guess what? Whoop, I'm going to draw back. We're good here. And I'm going to do the thing and lay it all out there.
Yeah.
I could see that happening.
Shock me. Yeah, it would not shock me at all. I would love to see that. Lay every damn bit of it out on the line. Come on, baby. Let's go.
Right.
And if you need somebody to look through video for you, I am more than willing. Give me a call, Tucker.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Right. Like all these people. Right. I mean, Tucker Carlson. I mean, regardless of people if they like him or dislike him, right? He's going to join the ranks of the Barry Weisses and the Matt Taibbis, and exposing the complete
and the Michael
corruption.
Schellenbergers and. Right. Yeah.
They're going to expose the establishment elite for what they are doing and what they are.
Yeah.
Right. And then that's it. Right. That's it. So, it's man, it can get squirrely between now and 2024.
It's gonna get beyond squirrely. We have just seen the opening volley of the war for the American viewpoint.
Right.
I mean, because what we have right now between regular broadcast news, and I'm making this distinction because AOC doesn't know the difference, between regular broadcast news, which is controlled by the FCC, and cable news, which is not as much controlled by the FCC, dear.
Correct.
What people like Tucker Carlson have done, they have turned that entire tribal narrative, I guess you would say, completely upside down. He has changed the way that journalism is presented to the American people.
Right.
And the American people have found out that what he is doing is actual journalism.
Right. Right.
It's not kowtowing to a corporation. It's not kowtowing to the administration or to Congress. It's actually releasing information that people need to make decisions.
Right. Right. And as long as you have media outlets or particular social media platforms suppressing information, right? Yeah. You're never going to, you will never ever, I'm going to put this all the way out there, right?
Okay.
In this day and age, right now, what we're living, the paradigm we're living in right now at the moment, right? We cannot make informed decisions.
No.
We cannot make truly informed decisions because they've...
look, across the board, between video, television, okay, and print media or internet media, whatever you want to call it, we're not getting the truth from anybody. We're not getting enough information to make informed decisions at any level.
Correct.
We're getting sound bites. We're getting headlines. We're not getting in-depth information.
Right. That's
Even
correct.
watching C-SPAN doesn't help because our Congress is absolutely freaking clueless.
Yeah. Yeah. And clueless is probably, maybe the best word, but amongst other words. But You know what I'm saying? We will never be able to make a true informed decision on all of the information until we stop them from suppressing information.
Yeah. And that's part of the problem. We're seeing so much in the way of a willingness to suppress information from our government and from the media sources, the like I said, the visual outlets and the television outlets and the internet and print outlets. We're seeing so much willingness to say, oh, well, doesn't that need to be censored?
Right.
That we as Americans are not understanding that it's not a censorship of hate. It's a censorship of actual information. It's a censorship of the truth.
Right. Here's the thing, right? When they started using, national security concern,
yeah,
right?
This is going to be dangerous to you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That right there in itself, and I'm just gonna put this right out on Front Street. If people haven't caught on to it, let me inform you. Right? They use national security concern or national security threat to suppress information.
Yes, they do.
This is how they get around it.
We haven't seen the National Shooters Manifesto.
Why do you think we haven't seen Hunter Biden's laptop?
Yeah. Well,
legitimately laid out. Well, I mean, outside of the 4chan channels and all that. Yeah. When have the American public at large had complete and open access to Biden's laptop, right? Or the January 6th videos? When, see what I'm saying? Even your friendly friends, aka Speaker McCarthy, aka Representative Stefanik, aka Representative Jordan, right? They're still participating in the national security apparatus.
Yes,
instead of saying, we're just going to give them to Tucker, but not release them to the complete public to get open access to, there are participants in that apparatus.
Now, wait a minute. And I've got to correct you on this one a little bit, because McCarthy is releasing it to the public. It has to go through security measures first before it can be released.
Okay, but watch this. How did Tucker get it?
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Tucker is a member of the public.
Yeah.
Why just give it slight to him and not give it to everyone at the blink at the same time?
Well, the thing is I don't know that they gave him complete run. They sat and edited with him. In other words, his production team had to sit with security people to make sure that they did not release certain things.
Well, then he should have never had it in the first place. And again, right,
exactly.
That's still propping up national security apparatus.
Yep, exactly.
So what did they edit out? And will we ever see what they edited out?
No, we won't.
Right. Because again, right, that's our building.
Yeah, it's our house.
Yeah. So
we paid for it in blood and treasure.
Yeah.
But let us ask to see the truth. Oh no, you can't handle the truth, can you?
Yeah, no, you can't handle the truth because you can barely handle your affairs, right? Huh? So you can't handle the truth, and this is where we keep allowing these establishment types to continue to oppress us.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're continuing to allow them to treat us like we're little toddlers. Okay, little Johnny, we're going to give you a little droplet of information. Oh no, you're a conspiracy theorist because you want to know what's in the rest of the vial. Yeah, you're fucking right, I do, because I need to know what kind of medicine I'm taking. Don't play with me.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Don't poison me. Oh no, but this is great for you. This is great for you. This is great for you. Right. It along the line the same thing, right? I had posted, those you on the Patreon, I had posted that the United States is starting to pay out money for damages from the jibby jab, right? Mm-hmm. And those of you that listen to Chasing Life, Liberty, and Minarchy last night, right? Yes. I talked about that, right? Check this out. The national security apparatus said right on my YouTube page, right? They sat right there and said, this is still medical information. This is not proven. And I'm like, the payments are on the government website.
Yeah.
What you mean is medical information?
Oh my God.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So they're gonna basically accuse you of misinformation or disinformation, but AOC can get away with calling the FDA the Federal Drug Administration. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whatever happened to our food? Isn't it the Food and Drug Administration?
Mm-hmm. No, she must be.
That's not misinformation.
No. The Federal Drug Administration. I mean, let's keep it real.
There is no. Wait.
The
FDA is literally the Food and Drug Administration. It's not the Drug Administration.
It is the Federal Drug Administration. I want you to think about that, and I'm not going to say it because we might get hit with misinformation.
Oh, I know, but what I'm saying is the actual name of it is not Federal Drug Administration.
Now it is. I'm taking it up. I'm taking the mantle up on that. I mean, look.
Okay.
They literally approved.
You want to agree with AOC? You go right ahead.
Look. Did the FDA just approve emergency use authorization for a drug, gene therapy drug? I mean, come on.
Drug Administration. Food and drug.
No. It's the federal drug. Forget the food part. Forget the food part. They literally just approved all these kind of drugs.
I know, right? They approve all of them. But they've approved all of them for generations. That's not news.
I know. And then you turn around.
For someone who is in Congress to say that, you got to be out of your mind.
Look,
are you that damn dumb, girl?
Okay, even if we add, I mean, look, we can still add food to it. No, let's keep it the Federal Drug Administration. Let's keep it that way because look, they approve all kinds of chemicals and everything that go into our food.
Yeah, they do.
Right? I'm just saying chemicals, drugs. I'm just saying I can't tell the difference between the two. You know what I'm saying?
Oh hell, most of our food is chemicals now anyway. What the hell?
I can't tell the difference between either one of them. You know what I'm saying? So right? I guess we can just call it the Federal Drug Administration.
You know, it's pretty sad when you're eating healthy and organic and your kid comes out lop-eared and wall-eyed, you know. And it ain't nothing to do with genetics, baby. It ain't nothing to do with genetics. Stand up, walk in, and go knock-kneed, yeah. Lop-eared, wall-eyed, knock-kneed, yep, there you go. Yeah, FDA, you go. Baby, FDA.
Yeah. FDA. In honest spirits, though, AOC was probably talking about the CIA. I'm just saying, I don't know anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, she didn't want to call them outright, the CIA. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's keep it real. That is the real FDA. You know what I mean? I mean, those cats plant drugs in neighborhoods all the time to create crime. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Look at the historical context on how they did it, and you'll know what I'm talking about. But she used the wrong 3 letters for the incorrect agency.
Right. Which anyway, again is not a shocker.
But it's still I still like the Federal Drug Administration because it's kind of fitting. I'm just saying it's kind of fitting.
It's appropriate, I have to admit that, but still, it's like you're in Congress, you ought to know damn well better. Come on. You cannot be serious with this mess.
No, you can't be serious with it. Sometimes we got to clown on people sometimes and just call it out for what it is.
Absolutely.
But again, before we run and pay bills real quick though, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out through the summer with the January 6th stuff and all this going down the way it is. Like,
well, and the fact of the matter is as far as I know, he's under no contractual obligation to keep the January 6th information to himself.
Nope, sure doesn't.
So, It's time to spill some tea, Mr. Carlson. Let's go.
Let's spill some sweet tea, baby. Spill some sweet tea.
Absolutely.
We gotta do the pay bills thing real quick. So y'all know what to do. Go get your cheese, wine, and crackers. When we come back, we want to talk about things going on up on the hill, and we're gonna shut this mud sucker down. So make sure y'all sit back, relax, and get you some little drink, little munchy munch, and we'll be back in 6 here on Southern Liberty.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks closing mixed to kick off a busy week for earnings. Financial results from major tech companies are slated this week, including Microsoft and Alphabet on Tuesday. The Dow rising 66 points, the Nasdaq down 35, S&P 500 up 4. First Republic stock is tumbling in after-hours trading. The bank's profits plunged by nearly $72 billion as customers pulled their money from the San Francisco-based lender amid a banking crisis. During the company's earnings call, its CEO Mike Roffler said the bank's deposit base has stabilized. In addition, the bank will be slashing 20 to 25% of its workforce in the current quarter. And shares of Coca-Cola ended slightly lower after the beverage giant beat first quarter revenue and earnings estimates fueled by price hikes and higher demand. Before the opening bell on Tuesday, PepsiCo reports first quarter earnings. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Hillary Barsky, invested in you.
The Fearless and Proud podcast series looks at acts of bravery and strength by women. And in the first season, we'll look at women who played important roles in the Civil War. In episode 2, as the war approached their kitchen windows or as their own loved ones went off to fight, women decided to put on a uniform or disguise themselves and join the struggle in ways not seen before. We'll discuss how these women maintained their disguises and why the era's social mores helped their deception on both sides. Listen ad-free on Fox News Podcasts via Apple Podcasts, and Prime members can listen to this show ad-free on Amazon Music.
Will the federal debt limit go up or not? That's one of the main questions in Washington this week. I'm Kevin Uretsky, Fox News. The White House making its position known again today.
Look, we've been very clear. We're not going to negotiate over avoiding default. We've been very clear about that.
White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre. The House will vote this week on Speaker Kevin McCarthy's bill, which raises the debt ceiling but also cuts spending. McCarthy can only lose 5 Republican votes if he wants to send the bill to the Senate.
Fox has told President Biden won't negotiate until Republicans prove they can pass the bill on their own. But even Democrats are anxious about the president's resistance. Passing the bill would notch a win for McCarthy, but defeat would telegraph a brutal fight over the debt ceiling to the markets.
Fox's Chad Pergram on Capitol Hill. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says he's helped secure a 72-hour ceasefire in Sudan to aid with humanitarian efforts, including evacuations. That after U.S. diplomatic personnel were airlifted from the country this past weekend. But there is now concern about what actions Russia and China may take in the war-torn country.
As the U.S. flag lowered over the embassy, Russia and China will be seeking to assert more influence in Sudan. Russia's Wagner Group has a history of smuggling gold out of the country, and Russia has been seeking to build a naval base on Sudan's Red Sea coastline.
Fox's Jennifer Griffin at the Pentagon. The Idaho State Supreme Court has rejected a request by 30 news organizations to lift a gag order in the criminal case of Brian Kohberger, accused of stabbing 4 University of Idaho students to death last November. And Washington State and Oregon passing laws that allow children to have total access to transgender medical interventions.
Both are passing laws allowing kids access to puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and even life-altering surgeries, all without parental consent.
Fox's Dan Springer. America's listening to Fox News.
Like your go-to podcast? The Sun gets you going every day. It gives you the radiant energy you need to tackle your to-do list. With Supergoop sunscreen, your skin is taken care of. You're wide open to the loving energy of the sun's rays, while expertly protected from harm. That's solar-powered freedom. What will you do with yours? Find your SPF at supergoop.com.
One of the Louisville police officers fired in the wake of the killing of Breonna Taylor in 2020 has a new job in law enforcement.
Former Louisville police officer Miles Cosgrove has been hired by the Carroll County Sheriff's Office. Cosgrove was one of several police officers who took part in the botched drug raid in 2020 of Breonna Taylor's apartment, in which Taylor's boyfriend shot at police officers, injuring one before they returned to fire, killing Taylor. Cosgrove was fired for violating use of force procedures and failing to wear a body camera, though never criminally charged in the case.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. The trial of the man accused of killing 11 people at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh 5 years ago began today.
Robert Bowers could face the death penalty once a jury is selected and testimony begins. Bowers faces 63 total counts, including murder, hate crimes, and obstructing the free exercise of religion, resulting in death. Bowers' attorneys have attempted to avoid the trial, offering a guilty plea in exchange for multiple life sentences.
Fox's Gernal Scott. A spacecraft from the United Arab Emirates now orbiting Mars has sent back close-up photos of the red planet's little moon. Scientists with the UAE Space Agency say these new images indicate the moon is not an asteroid that got captured in Mars's orbit a long time ago, which many had thought, but is instead of Martian origin. And one of the leading movie theater chains wants you to feel like you're there even when you're watching at home.
AMC says it will now be selling its popcorn at 2,600 Walmart stores across the U.S. AMC CEO Adam Aron says in the early weeks, AMC Perfectly Popcorn has been selling briskly. The popcorn launched at hundreds of Walmart locations last month in time for the Academy Awards.
Fox's Jenny Consola. I'm Kevin Uretsky, and this is Fox News.
The Fearless and Proud podcast series looks at acts of bravery and strength by women. And in the first season, we'll look at women who played important roles in the Civil War. Episode 1. In this first episode, we will look at how the outbreak of the Civil War changed the lives of women, their status, altered their roles, and gave them new opportunities in the process. We'll hear about their motivations, love, money, patriotism. Listen ad-free on Fox News Podcasts via Apple Podcasts, and Prime members can listen to this show ad-free on Amazon Music.
Welcome back, Southern Liberty. Appreciate y'all hanging out this evening, those of you in the live chat. Appreciate y'all. Those of y'all listening online across the airwaves, South Florida, Southeast Georgia, state of Utah, appreciate y'all. If you're not part of the Southern Liberty family, make sure you come on through Patreon.com/TOLM. There's a show you're not subscribed to that we offer here, Southern Liberty, the experience today. We're chasing life, liberty, and monarchy. Make sure you stop by my website, RoderickThreets.com. You can hit the little button, little thingy, and then do the subscribe thingy. On your favorite platform, you know, I mean, got to show the love when you can. And the biggest thing of all, like, make sure you're sharing, you share these shows every now and again across social media. You know, I'm not saying every day like a obsessive hack, but, you know, every once in a while, right? Put it in the ether, right? That we out here. There's a small community of us out here that are fighting for liberty at all costs. No matter who we upset, what side of the political paradigm we throw shade at, because they all get the shade the same. They all need magnolia trees in their front yard. Maybe they'll cool off their jets. But you know, we're out here, right? It's a great time to be alive, right? It's a really, really, really great time to be alive.
Some of them need black walnut trees, not magnolias. Magnolias smell too good.
Well, I mean, it is what it is, you know. But it's a great time to be alive. Who would have thought, right? Who would have thought, that would be alive at a time where our country is maintaining by a literal thread.
Yeah.
But we have people that are astute enough to understand history and the previous failures of such totalitarianism, right? Of such authoritarianism, Nazism, Maoism, Marxism, all those isms that the other team, right, willfully participates in, that was the demise of mankind on this sphere that they claim is dying because of climate change. We're the smart ones here, right? We're the smart. We had the opportunity, right, to dispel the historical context and stop it in its tracks. Yes, they say history repeats itself. And a lot of times history repeats itself because we never had the information at our fingertips, right? Again, our phones, our computers, well, forget your computers. If you have a mobile device, you are walking around with the Library of Alexandria in your pocket.
You're walking around with greater computing power than it took to put a man on the moon.
Right. Right. And we have the ability to look at that history and understand the context of that history and say, no, never again. We can say never again to all of it.
Yeah.
Because we are in control of our destinies. Not the puppet master establishment elite, right? That makes us think that we're just losing our minds and we're conspiracy theorists. No. We are smarter than them. They just don't think we are that smart to understand their game that they're pulling on us.
We're just the peons. We can't be that smart.
Yeah. Yeah. We're just, but no, we are, and I'm going to speak for us Gen Xers in particular because we created this, right? We are smarter than any other generation before us. And we will be smarter than the at least 3 to 4 generations after us because we created it. We understand it.
Yeah.
And we've stood firm on it.
Yeah.
And we were built just like our great grandparents were built to get through the Great Depression. We were built to get through this bullshit that we're, whatever you want to call it, we're dealing with right now. We're built for this. And we will bring this country through its darkest hour.
Yeah.
It's going to be us. It ain't going to be Gen Z. It ain't going to be millennials. It's not going to be any of them. It's going to be us that brings this country, right, through its darkest hour, right? And it's going to take all kinds of different people, right? It's going to take all kinds of people, right? I mean, just like Queen Wet said, right? The head upon the body, right?
Yep.
We all have different parts and roles to play in this game, right? We all can't be the head, right? We all can't be the head, right? But what we need to be is be like Voltron, right? We need to be like Voltron. We need to be all the little cars or all the little lines, and we all need to come together to form the one big robot. We're all the head because we all have knowledge to foster upon each other to make us a stronger nation. And when we get away from that, then we start falling apart. Just like that, what's that saying? United we stand, divided we fall. This is what we get when you get too many people trying to be a jack of all. Well, let me forget that part. Trying to be a master of all.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I know my lane. I know where I'm at. I'm not going over there. And I don't expect other people to do the same. And we can come together, right, and save this nation. Right, from the liberty defenders to, I mean, even the conservatives, even the evangelicals, all of them, the pagans, all of them that has a great moral, that has a moral standing to save this country, the place they live in. These are the people we need in our movement These are the people we need that's going to save this country. Putting all political and partisanship aside, right? That's what it's going to take, right? That's what it's going to take at the end of the day to bring this nation out of its darkest hour.
Until we sweep partisanship off the board, it's going to be pointless. Like you said, Queen Quet says head upon body. If the body dies, the head goes with it.
That's correct.
We got to make sure the body survives just like the head.
That's right. If the body doesn't survive, you're right. And you're right. If the body doesn't survive, then there is no head. Right. So we have to get out here now more than ever. Because look, darker times are coming.
Oh God, yes.
And we know we know it's coming, right? We know the collapse of the dollar is coming. We know it's coming.
Yeah.
Right? We know it's coming to some degree. We don't know if it's going to come short or it's going to come in 10 years.
I think it's going to be a lot sooner than 10 years, honey.
But
the next 24 months minimum. I'd say a lot sooner than that.
But what I'm saying is, us, right? We know how to survive these things. We know how to plant food. Yeah. We know if we had to, right? We had to put fuel in our cars. We know how to make ethanol from corn, right? 'Cause I mean, heck, if your daddy made moonshine from potatoes, you already know how to make ethanol.
Or from corn, yeah. One
right.
Or the other.
You already know how to make it, right?
Yeah.
See, along with that, right? We know how to barter with each other for food, services, things of that matter. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We know how to do this.
Yeah.
So I mean, look at it. All the houses that we live in, etc., are going. If the dollar collapses, will have no value. They're going to have no value,
except a shelter. Yeah.
Yeah. People really need to think about that a second. This is why owning the land is very important.
It is. It really is. And it's also why having skills to barter with is important.
Yes.
I mean, even something so minor as being able to sew a hem or sew a button on. That's a skill that's pretty much gone now. Nobody knows how to do it.
Hey, we do.
What the hell? You just throw it away, get another shirt.
Hey, look, if you've served in the military or you're a Gen Xer before, you know how to sew a button on.
Oh, honey, I could sew you anything you need.
Right. You already know how to do it. You got the training.
Yeah. My mother-in-law taught me how to sew, believe it or not, and to embroider. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where people don't think about things like that anymore.
No.
You have so many people out there right now who can't cook a meal. They have no idea how to start a fire.
Right.
They have no idea what it takes to set up a grocery list. Because they go out to eat all the time. What the hell? Why not?
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly.
What do they keep in their fridge? A leftover pizza and maybe a jar of jelly.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. And the other time, everybody's always getting takeout. But what's going to happen, right, when that dollar ain't going to get you no takeout?
Yeah.
When that dollar ain't going to put no petrol in your vehicle. Like, I'm going to tell you straight up, down here, look, I almost cried when I went to the gas pump today.
What are y'all running down there?
380. 380. Literally.
Here in town, we're at 349. We're right by the interstate.
Yeah, we're running 380 right down here off of Clematis Street down here in West Palm. 380.
Damn.
Yeah.
And I would be willing to bet that that's up quite a bit since the last month.
It's been up quite a bit since the last week. Last week it was just 347.
Yeah. It's gotten nuts, and it's going to get even more so. Our strategic oil reserve is gone, pretty much. The SPR.
Yep.
And just to clue you guys in, our defensive ammunition stock is pretty much depleted.
Oh, that's great to know.
Yeah, for the military. Yeah, it's pretty much gone. Because, Ukraine, we're in the money. Yeah. We're sending them billions, and we're sending them all of our ammunition, and they're just blowing it away. Something to the tune of 5,000 to 6,000 rounds of the mortar shells a day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just like, look, I don't care how people, you know what I mean, especially the people that uphold this regime, right? We got to keep it all the way real. You can these people can try to blame Donald Trump all day long for what's going on in Ukraine, which they have been trying to do the whole time. But look, your president, right?
Oh, and the previous president, because Obama had a huge hand in this.
Yeah. But I mean, forget Obama. I'm just speaking on Biden right now, right? Mm-hmm. These people, yes, I'm talking to those people. Your president, your president that you elected, right?
Yeah.
Stop drilling in the Permian, right? And then all of a sudden, under the cover, oh, we're going to start doing permits again. No, it's too late. You shut them down for over a year.
Oh, you didn't hear about that, did you?
I heard about that whole thing. He restarted it.
Oh, no.
Restarting the permits. No. Oh, what now? Wait.
Oh, it gets even better than that.
Oh.
This last week, American gas and oil companies were in Ukraine to discuss drilling there.
Yes, I saw that. Yep, I was going to mention that too. Yeah. Yep.
So we can't drill here in America, but we can pay billions to Ukraine and end up getting oil contracts there? Really?
But it's even more than oil.
Huh.
There's even more
it's
than
a lot
oil.
More than oil.
No,
yeah.
It's natural gas.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Y'all have heard me talk about the Ukraine thing before, right? Ukraine has the largest natural gas reserve on the European continent. People have to understand this. And this is why Putin, right? This is why Putin needed Crimea. This is why Putin, even though the war in the Donbass, that's complicated, but for all intents and purposes, right? This is why Putin needed to be connected to eastern Ukraine because of the natural gas. Now the United States is going to say, the United States ain't slick. Now they're going in here to get oil and natural gas contracts to drill on what would be the Russian separatist people in the Donbass region. United States ain't slick it. They ain't slick.
No.
I'm just saying, y'all go read that.
It's rather fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
And
hey, check this out.
At this point, we might as well just call Ukraine the 51st damn state, because at this point we spent more on them than we have on any of the others.
Look, watch this. Where is Ihor Kolomoisky?
You know what? I honestly don't know, but
what is
wherever he is, he's making a shit ton of money.
Maybe I should take a drive down to Miami and see if I can find Kolomoisky.
Oh, there you go. That's possible. I mean, plenty of bars, plenty of pretty hotties down there.
I'm just saying. I mean, I guess that Burisma thing turned out pretty good, huh? Oh. We're gonna underhand go to China. But see, here's the thing, right? And I know we gotta get to the federal shit, but this is too good right now. This is too good to piece together right now, right? Here's the thing, right? China already knows the plan of Hunter Biden.
Oh yeah.
They already
Why do you
know
think
the
we
plan.
just snuck them $1 billion through the UN?
Hello, y'all didn't hear about that, did you? We just handed off a briefcase to one of Xi Jinping's cohorts. Well, we're worth $1 billion. Just whoop, no one didn't see that coming, but it was right there, right through the UN's, huh?
We laundered it. We laundered it through the United Nations. $1 billion directly to China.
For real. But no,
but watch this man, Tucker and Don Lemon.
Yeah, yeah. They just said they just slid that off. And here's the thing. Here's the funny thing, right? There's only one outcome from this, right? There's only one outcome from this.
Yeah,
maybe two, but one of them. There's only one outcome.
Okay.
The United States is buying in to the reserve currency of BRICS, right? They're gonna buy into that reserve currency, that $1 billion. You just don't hand $1 billion off to somebody like, oh, and then end up drilling for the gas and the oil in Ukraine. Behest the war in Ukraine. No, I'm sorry. This president and his people are working in cahoots with Russia, with China to pick all that up, right? Because look, if we even go back and we look at the bombing of the Nord Stream 2, right? We look at the bombing of the Nord Stream 2. Oh, what happened? Oops. And then now we're going to go into the region we just literally bombed in to drill. Yeah. Come on, y'all. I know some people haven't put this together yet, but come on.
The thing is China is increasing its Belt and Road project.
Yes.
Particularly in Africa.
Yes.
You do realize that we had a very heavy presence in Sudan?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now we don't?
Yep. But see, here's the thing. Chinese secret. You want to hear a Chinese secret?
Absolutely.
Watch this.
Okay.
That the State Department personnel that was in Sudan.
Yeah.
If you look hard enough, I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm gonna say something. But I ain't gonna say anything.
Okay.
They had been gone already 2 weeks. They were already gone.
Oh, that's not even a question. Yeah.
They were long gone before they announced it. Yeah. They were long gone.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but we ain't got no plans to evacuate any other Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah, about that.
No. So here's the thing. Anthony Blinken learned it. Notice how the language he learned. LEARNT. He learned. He learned his lesson from Afghanistan. Trying to evacuate at the last damn minute. You don't do shit like that. But anyway, that was a failed regime change incident. But anyway, I digress. Because we might get paid for misinformation for that one. But I'm just telling you it is what it is. But we left Sudan literally 3 weeks ago. And they're now just announcing, oh, yeah, we're leaving our personnel. Bitches, fool, who you fooling?
You seriously going to bring in Chinooks out of Djibouti? I don't think so. Oh, yeah, they had to stop in Ethiopia to refuel. Huh? That made no sense to me. So, whatever it is, it's like, this is getting paper damn thin.
Yeah.
You can't keep lying to the American people and expect us to believe you time and time again when we know we've been lied to every single time.
Yep. Every single time. And literally, and not even going back to Obama's term, not even going back to Bush's term, right? Where the lie about the weapons of mass destruction and all that bullshit, right?
Yeah.
We're not gonna go there. Right. But let's just stay current with Trump and all the lies they told us to distract us from what Trump was doing. Right.
Yeah.
What he was exposing. They told lies on the man to discredit what he was showing us, but he showed us, those of us that were paying attention through executive order, what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because funny thing is, there's only certain executive orders Biden overturned, but there's ones he didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
What do we got on the federal level so we can get these people out of here? What we got going on?
Okay, we have 3 days worth, basically?
Yeah, 3 days. They only work 3 days. Sorry, suckers.
Excuse me. Yeah, I know, right? All that money wasted. Okay, in the House on April 17th, the House agreed to suspend the rules and pass the following measures. Upholding Sovereignty of Airspace Act, H.R. 1151, was amended to hold the People's Republic of China accountable for the violation of United States airspace and sovereignty with its high-altitude surveillance balloon by a 2/3 yea and nay vote of 405 yeas to 6 nays.
You know I'm gonna ask, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who are the China shills?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Oh look! Hey, not surprising. Talib, Omar,
yeah,
Bowman out of New York, Davidson, a Republican out of Ohio, Thomas Massie. Wait a minute. Thomas Massie voted no on it. So here's my question. If Massie voted no, right? Why? What's in this bill that made him say no?
Okay. This bill requires and authorizes actions in response to the Chinese government's global surveillance program, including the Chinese government's use of surveillance.
Oh, I see why.
Wait a minute.
Number 2.
The president may impose property and visa blocking sanctions on foreign individuals that directly manage or oversee Chinese government's global surveillance balloon program. It's only for the balloon program, it looks like.
Yeah, but I see it on principle already why Massie voted no. Because it's given the president authority, right?
Yes.
To usurp property.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
That's not the president's job.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. So yeah, that's why he voted no on it on principle. You can't give the executive that kind of authority.
This bill also requires the Department of State to report to Congress a diplomatic strategy to inform U.S. allies and partners of the scope of the Chinese government's surveillance program and to build a global consensus to address the Chinese government's global surveillance balloon program. I don't see that we have any obligation to do that.
No, not at all. So, okay, I guess, Thomas Massie, you got to pass on this one.
Absolutely.
We see exactly why. Okay, moving on.
Okay.
Moving on.
Condemning recent actions taken by the Russian military to down a United States Air Force drone. This is House Resolution 240, amended condemning recent actions taken by the Russian military to down a United States Air Force drone by a 2/3 yea and nay vote of 410 yeas, with none voting nay.
But there's a lot of people that didn't vote, though, apparently.
410 yeas.
Yeah, there's at least 20 some odd people that didn't vote. Because, there's 435 people. But, their votes wouldn't have mattered anyway. But who didn't vote, though? Oh, Cori Bush didn't vote. Yeah, I'm calling out the Democrats. I sure is. Cori Bush didn't vote on it. Who else is in here? Katie Porter. Who else is on here?
She was busy doing press rounds that day.
Right? Eric Swalwell. Grijalva. Okay. Typical usual suspects.
Oh, yeah.
It's the usual suspects. So what Republicans didn't vote for it? None that I recognize. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Okay, on the 18th of April, let's see, in the Senate, transmitting pursuant to law a report of the continuation of the national emergency that was originally declared in Proclamation 10371 of April 21st, 2022, with respect to the Russian Federation and the emergency authority relating to the regulation of the anchorage and movement of Russian-affiliated vessels to United States ports, which was referred to the Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation.
All right, so let's break into this a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. So basically the letter that was sent in regard to Section 202D of the National Emergencies Act, that provides a automatic termination of a national emergency unless within 90 days prior to the anniversary date of its declaration, the President publishes in the Federal Register and transmits to the Congress a notice stating that the emergency is to continue in effect beyond the anniversary date. In accordance with this provision, I have sent to the Federal Register for publication the enclosed notice stating that the national emergency declared in Proclamation 10371 of April 21st, 2022, with respect to the Russian Federation and the emergency authority relating to the regulation of the anchorage and movement of Russian-affiliated vessels to United States ports is to continue. So in other words, the president, in layman's speak, the president has declared a national emergency because of Russian ships in coming to American ports. So he is now, and we also have to remember, right? In the National Emergencies Act, he also has authority over economic sanctions.
Yeah.
Right? Through the IEEC Act, right? So now he can basically control the economy at a whim, which a president is still not supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's Congress's job, right? Congress's job is to maintain and quote unquote regulate commerce, but they're handing it over to the president to use it as a political whipping post. They've handed that over to the
president for decades, though. That's not
news. Yep, I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what's on with the IEEC that was passed in the 70s to give the president the authority over the economic sector of the United States.
Yeah. So, but this whole thing just drives me insane because these sanctions are not hurting Russia at all.
No.
It's just increasing their cred, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Okay. In the House agreed to House Resolution 298, providing for the consideration of the bill H.R. 734 to amend the Education Amendments of 1972 to provide that for the purposes of determining compliance with Title IX of such act in athletics, sex shall be recognized based solely on a person's reproductive biology and genetics at birth, and providing for consideration of the joint resolution H.J. Res. 42, disapproving of the action of the District of Columbia Council in approving the Comprehensive Policing and Justice Reform Amendment Act of 2022 by a recorded vote of 217 ayes to 202 noes. After the previous question was ordered by a yea-nay vote, 218 yeas and 203 nays. So it did pass.
Mm-hmm.
Which we knew already. I mean, everybody's been talking about that. And I'm sorry, but Title IX is pretty damn specific about forwarding the path of girls into not only sports, but into sports-related collegiate activities as far as scholarships and everything else. You know, it is protecting them from competing with boys because, I'm sorry, girls and boys are different, y'all, no matter what you want to think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and if I sound out of breath, I am, y'all. I'm having an allergy attack. We've got something pollinating around here, and it's driving me insane. So just kind of forgive me. I'm a little short of breath, and I'm congested. All right. On April 19th, in the Senate, the Fire Grants and Safety Act Agreement. The Senate continued consideration of Senate Bill 870 to amend the Federal Fire Prevention and Control Act of 1974 to authorize appropriations for the United States Fire Administration and firefighter assistance grant programs, taking action on the following amendments proposed thereto. Now, there were 3 amendments that were proposed to this. Let's see here. And it looks like all of them failed. The first one was the Paul Amendment related to COVID-19 vaccines. The second was the Hagerty Modified Amendment related to emergency food and shelter programs. And the third was the Scott of Florida amendment related to the use of unspent COVID-19 relief funds to offset the cost of the grants. It's one of those things where something like this, the Democrats are not going to allow this to be amended by any Republican senator, especially not when it comes to COVID relief funds and the vaccines.
Right, and that's a sad thing, because Senator Scott's amendment to use the unspent CARES Act money to offset the cost of the grants is.
Makes a lot of sense.
That's smart economics. It is smart economics. We're not going to just sit here and just have this money just floating around. We can poke here. Let's apply it to these grants, right? That we're going to be giving through the Federal Fire Prevention and Control Act, right? Let's apply that, and help get these these volunteer firefighters, right, in some of these municipalities, get them paid, right?
Exactly.
I mean, it's things like that. But again, right? Again, I guess Democrats don't want firefighters putting out fires they create. Oops.
Well,
did I say that out loud? My bad.
It's not just that, but I was reading an article earlier, and I can't remember who put it. It may have been Reuters. It may have been AP. They were talking about the federal government allowing states to use leftover COVID relief funds for the living funds. In other words, the benefits that people would get. Yep. I read that too, and it's like, no, that's not what it's for. I mean, if you want to rebate it to the people, that's all well and good. It's already been spent. Right. I would rather see it go to something like this, where it's offsetting the cost of something instead of being just pissed away. Right. You're exactly correct. You are exactly correct. God knows our administrative office is not going to do it. I mean, the president has already said he wants nothing to do with cutting any spending. Right. So why not offset cost with those unused funds? Right. I mean, it's the same thing, right? With the Title I funds that was in the CARES Act that was sent to the schools. Yeah. Right, to pay for administrative fees. How much of that has been unspent? A lot. And here's the thing, right? Yeah. And I'm still relay the same message, right? I'm gonna relay the same message like we did back then after the Uvalde shooting, right? My conservative friends, please understand, yes, that's our money, and that's money they extorted from us. So we have to deal with that point. We're never going to get that money back in our pocket. But what we can do, if school boards are still sitting on that money, they can use that Title I money to fortify schools with security, cameras, and all kinds of nonsense. But I've only seen 2 or 3 conservatives on social media talk about that and press that. Well, harden the schools, hire SROs. Let's get this done. The money's there. The money is there. Why not use it for what it can be used for? Yeah. There's no point in delaying this. We're going to hem and haw and wait until more kids get shot and then scream about gun control instead of doing the right thing and protecting our kids as much as our Congress is protected. Right. That's exactly it. I mean, it's there. It's already there, and it's common sense. Right. Yeah. It's common sense. Oh, you would think. Right. But if they're not going to use the money for common sense, right, then we need to cut off the water supply. Yeah, I would agree. Absolutely. We all need to rise up. You're not spending this money appropriately. We all need to rise up and say, no, we're good on this. Yeah, we're done. Y'all take a break. Enough is enough. Yeah. Because look, the only way it's ever going to get through to these people that they are spending way too much on stupid shit is to actually point it out to them, rub their nose in it. Yeah. That's exactly right. It's like dealing with a puppy that poops on the floor. What do? You rub their nose in it before you clean it up, and you make sure they go outside. Yeah, that's exactly correct. That's exactly correct. And no lie detected there. So, it's time to start treating our Congress like puppies that have pooped on the carpet. Rub their noses in it. And then take them outside.
Yeah. Yeah, you're exactly right. Hey, we got to roll out. We got to do the things. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
As always, I appreciate everybody coming through in the live thingy, in the chat thingy, the live on the airwaves thingy, the internet thingy, all the thingies. Make sure y'all come back tomorrow night for the experience today with me and Ms. Val. And I'm going to say what I always say, and I'm going to repeat it again. I don't know what we're talking about until tomorrow. So y'all will know when I know, and we're going to always have a conversation when it comes to psychology and politics. So make sure you stop right by 9:30 Eastern tomorrow night, Tuesday. Until next time, y'all, life, love, liberty, and happiness. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Southern Liberty Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others. Post about it on social media. Subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.bpmg.us or leave a rating and review on iTunes. To catch all the latest from Roderick, you can follow him on social media at manofjustice007. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.